I'm saying here, which is, is that you can find inspiration anywhere, and you just need to fall in love with something, whether if you are studying, watching, or going to the bathroom.
What you described, just talking to a DP, is great. Just to give them the sense of what you want. I've worked with a lot of different directors. Some are, I think, want to be DPs. That's okay, as long as we can have a conversation, as long as they have good ideas. But some of the best that I've worked with, and I've seen how they work with everybody this way, is to just, it's their point of view ultimately. It's their worldview that everyone is working towards. And so for them to give the DP me, or just a description, a feel of what it is, like music, what you were describing, that's the best. That's amazing. And we'll run with the technical stuff. We'll figure out what that means technically. That's what we do. So getting inside the head of the director that way is so important. Is the best.
Thank you. What do you think of that?
I love that. I love both of those, especially the Tom Ford story. It's hilarious. The one follow-up I would have then, if I may, would be then, what is the biggest killer of that process?
Maybe a know-it-all.
I'm not sure about the big, well, maybe. I think you've got it sort of figured out. I think like I worked on a movie once with a director where we made a hard and fast rule consciously not to talk in the beginning stages of prep about anything technical. Maybe controversial to say at a gear conference, but it was like the gear was sort of off limits. It was, and I think what that allowed us to do is it opened our minds to the experience that in the bathroom where you're observing an image or you're listening to music, you're just finding other ways to connect. So I think like not jumping the gun and spending time on exactly what you're talking about is the right approach.
Maybe be real.
Thanks for being here.
Your name?
Oh, I'm Jazz.
Obsession. What do you?
My obsession is movies. My television obsession lately has been Shogun and the swirly bokeh and the barrel distortion and the staggering moments that you guys found.
Oh, you can ask him how he did that or no?
The Hawk Lenses are such a great choice. I've been obsessed with the subway umbrella sequence. That put me in theaters so many times because I wanted to see it theatrically as many times as I could. I'd love if you could talk about your process of exploration and discovery when you're finding shots. It's there are so many ways to film a scene. How you put your mark on it. You've made so many what an indelible image is to you, and also if you have give any consideration to the fact that we watch things on IMAX to a cracked iPhone screen.
Question, Sam? He likes you.
Picked on me just because he said Shogun.
Yes, and swirly.
Some swirling. Let's start with the iPhone IMAX, and being somebody who works a lot in television, you do tend to have that conversation a lot. It's there's the person on the tube or the person on the subway who's watching it on this, and I was asked this question recently, and from personal experience, my brother annoys the hell out of me. He watch a TV show on his phone.
And he doesn't even turn it horizontal.
And he does, yes. But I know he's also got a 72-inch TV in the house because, you can buy a 72-inch TV for $300 these days or $500 these days. So I refute the argument from studios or networks or whatever that we're making it for people that watch on phone. I would always say in this to the Shogun point, we design the visuals to work on the biggest screen possible and not worry too much about the smallest screen possible. So I think, for everybody who has a tiny screen, they will still go to the cinema to watch Oppenheimer. they will, you know, and I say this just from personal experience of people like my brother. He will go to the cinema to watch Oppenheimer. He will watch one of my episodes of Game of Thrones of Shogun on his phone, but he will also watch them on his 72-inch TV that's in the house. So I think within television, I have to balance that ratio. Yes, I guess we do, and I'm sure all of us, you know, we've all been asked to, you know, whatever aspect ratio we are choosing for a show when we started, you know, to bear consideration to those who will watch it on a smaller format. But it's a consideration, and it's a due consideration we make, but it's not the overwhelming consideration. I think the overwhelming consideration is always the story. And to your point of, you know, picking how we decide to shoot a scene based on the words on the page, you know, what is the emotion we're trying to convey, where is it set, what is the story we're trying to tell, because sometimes that story demands everything in close-up, and sometimes that story demands everything in a wide shot. It's storytelling, as I think every one of us on here would have said so far, and I'm sure every one of us on here would say is our primary concern, is how we convey the story.
Can you imagine, I'm just imagining how Edu and Pedro pick shots. Yeah, using your imagination, can you imagine that?
I can't pick those shots. I wish I could.
No, but the history they have, his films, Edu's films, how you pick,
You know, like what I found amazing about, you know, being a cinematographer is that every time you get into a movie, you get or into a project. It doesn't matter. It can be a small, you know, 2-day shoot as well. But, you know, it's like you get into the world of a director with a vision, with a personality, with an attitude. And what I find fascinating is when you learn how they want, how they see the world, and what they need from you. And I think that's, you know, a lot of our project, a lot of our, you know, kind of way of being is also like understanding that character, that director, and kind of channeling his things into images in a way that he thinks that's what he wants, but you just take him one step forward, hopefully, you know. And that collaboration between you and him is what makes it better, you know. So it's always, you know, like you come with a 73-year-old director, and he's been doing movies for, you know, 50 years, you know, and it's like the pressure is incredible, and like he's know-it-all, but hopefully you know, he's hired you because he needs something from you that he cannot, you know, he saw something in you that, you know, that inspired him to do something else, you know. So he wants to do the same thing, you know, because he's 73, but with him, you know, I think my job was to kind of take him somewhere else within his parameters, you know. So he's not looking for the same, he's looking for something else and pushing him. And that's a bit of our job, understanding that vision and that, you know, and hopefully just, you know, at the end of the day, filmmakers team play. You know, it's not only the director as well, it's like everyone around as well. And every single person can act. And I think as cinematographers, we are one of those persons that are in the center of the equation. You know, and we need to create a team, we need to create all those small decisions that will elevate the film somewhere, you know, to where the director wants to go. But I'm not sure